Hello everyone, it's Tonya with Scribbles in Time. I am here today to show you several projects that I have worked on over the past couple of weeks. The lighting is horrendous. I apologize. I hate it when my lighting's bad. I have windows in this room and unfortunately it's very, very overcast and we're expecting kind of stormy, rainy weather all day. So on this side of my room I have just dark clouds. On this side of my room I seem to have a little bit of sun coming through the windows. So then I've got this shadowy table here because it's dark on one side and kind of light on the other. So I apologize for my lighting. Let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. It's just not ideal, but this is what we have today, and I'm going to get this video filmed today. I'm going to try to get all of this stuff listed in my Etsy, but it will probably be tomorrow before I can do that because as soon as I finish filming I have got to run out the door and a lot of errands, a lot of things to do today. So I may not get this stuff listed until tomorrow. My Etsy is Scribbles in Time. If you are looking for me on Etsy, I also have Instagram, so search me out. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below if you would, please. Love hearing from you, but in the meantime I'm going to go ahead and film the video. I'm going to start with this journal, which I originally made for myself. You'll see that I've done some writing in the journal, not much, but I did do a little bit of writing in the journal, a fair amount of artwork if I remember correctly. It's been a little while, but I did initially make this journal for myself. I've decided to post it in my Etsy. There's nothing overly personal that I've written in here by any means. The concept of this journal was she has a gypsy soul. So the name of the journal is She Has a Gypsy Soul. And I love the concept of the life of a gypsy. To me, when I think of gypsies, I think of kind of an eclectic, truly whatever rolls in, that you face it, you don't you go with the wind. Anyway, there'll be more about that inside of the journal, but again, the name of this one is She Has a Gypsy Soul, and on the outside there is a beautiful orchid. I'm not great with flowers. I'm saying it's an orchid. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I will get corrected below, but it is a beautiful pen. The light, man, I hate it. I might end up just refilming this video on a different day. We will see. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead with this. So I did this was actually the initial journal I had done that I kind of went based off of with the last journal that I made, which has already sold. But I did the little rope mats underneath it with the Scribbles in Time tab right there, a little number tab there with red numbers. That's that little pop of red I like to do. And then just the layering effect with the different book covers, the little glass vial. If you've watched my other videos, I've done pretty much the same effect on the front. The ruffles at the bottom, the little brass number plate with the pearl style seed beads. This is a real leather strap coming across the top and the bottom. I might turn this a little bit so that we can see it in full view. So there's real leather straps here, and I used my little plastic buckles that are in my Etsy shop, and I've grunged them up and covered them with book paper. I believe one of these has the word pray right here on the top. Let's see. There's the word pray showing. And on this spine, I did the sticks with the greenery. Let me turn it. And the leather straps are not functional. They're for appearance only. And then I did the rope braided coming down the spine. 3 different braids with the rope just overhanging at the top and the bottom. And then the back, I did the ostrich shell little beads on the back with the leather strap folded over on itself and tied with a piece of twine. And I put some muslin on the corners of the books, more for effect than anything, but it does also help protect the covers. And then the back is very grungy. You can see all the stuff poking out of the book. So that, let's see, let me show you from the top. So this is what she looks like from the top. From the side, kind of turn it, and you hear the clanging of the bell. So I got this bell. My friend Pam was selling this at the antique shop. And so we actually swapped out some stuff, and I got a few of these bells from her. And they're just so pretty. And they are, as you can hear, they're like little cowbells. And then also hanging out of the center is a really pretty bead, a wooden green bead. I'll show you that when we get to it. So that's the outside of the book. Measurements I'll post on the Etsy listing. Again, laid a ruler here. I try to do that just to kind of be able to get a comparison of size. But it's a big one, very big, pretty deep. Let me see if I can kind of give you an idea of how wide or deep it is. 5 inches, it looks like, maybe 5.5 with that thickness of that pen. And when you open it up, I've done a writing journal here on the inside, and I did use the book. I have about 4 of these books that I had used in that last journal, but on this one, I cut it in half so that it would be a layered, kind of a cascading look, and I used the other half of the cover back here on the back. And this says, "She is an old soul in the new world." A lot of these little gypsy quotes I found just by Googling Gypsy Soul, characteristics of a gypsy soul. And I think the biggest site that I went with as far as getting the quotes was, I think it's called Her Way. But if you just Google search characteristics of a gypsy soul, it is just, to me, very, very beautiful meanings, and I enjoy that, and I encourage you to Google search it. So anyway, going back to the writing journal here on the front, the writing journal again has a very narrow front cover and this really cool stick here, and if memory serves correctly, this is a little piece of a driftwood that I collected, and as you open it up, there are just different pages here. A little bit of my writing. It says, "A gypsy soul isn't lost in looking. She holds an inward and therefore outwardly kind of freedom." And I love that. So yeah, I did do a little writing in this journal because I thought I was keeping the journal, and I still may. If it doesn't sell, then I will be keeping it. But here on the side, all through this, I just kind of, you know, glued in, kind of like a glue book. I've just glued in all kind of really cool gypsy sayings that I had found online. And again, I did that thinking that I was keeping the book. I won't sit and read them all. These are all things you can find online. But it says, "She always follows her heart no matter what." I know about that. And this is a string of buttons with a little bit of tatting there. This is a Board of Education lunch token. I can't remember what year these are from, but they're really cool. This is a very eclectic book. Again, y'all know that I like to use anything that I like in a book, and so they're just eclectic. Whatever I come across that I like, I tend to put in there. Sorry, I'm making noise. So yeah, on this, I wanted you to be able to see the little cameo right there. So I have this cameo hanging from, I stitched a little flower, an artificial flower to this page, and hung this beautiful cameo charm. I hope that shows. Let me see. Can you see it? Okay, and that little writing that I did, that's some more writing I wrote on here. I'm trying to see if I can read it. It says, "A gypsy soul is a woman who is full of energy and wants to live life in her own terms. To some extent, she is childlike. She is happy in her own world because she knows how to live. Such a woman is an ancient soul trapped in the body of a modern woman." And then here's just some more quotes that I've kind of taped onto the pages. Or not taped, but glued all through here. Just little quotes. There's kind of a big one. Some really pretty Indian trim coming down the edge of this page with pearls. I don't know if you can see that. Then an old badge. This was from my family, again, when I thought I was keeping the journal. Oh, there's a beautiful old key on here too. Let me see if I can make sure that shows. I'm trying not to feel rushed, but I am kind of rushed. But I wanted to be able to get the video posted today because otherwise I'm not sure when I'll be able to get that posted. So this is just a little, let me see if I can, these are some really cool curtain rod clips, I think from the 40s or 50s that I ordered. I'm probably going to post some of these in my Etsy shop too. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I do have a pretty large number of these. Let me see if I can show you. This is my little drawer that I keep those in. So I have a pretty good supply of these, and I'll probably post some of those in my Etsy. But what I did is in the center of this, as a kind of standalone signature, I've posted this little pocket. I mean, I've stitched in this little pocket, and this is a book that I got from Etsy from an artist out of Russia. So it has all these Russian pages, and I used it again in this journal because I was using things that I like because I was making the journal for myself. So it's Old World Books, I believe is her Etsy, but she's a really cool artist, and I bought this from her. So anyway, she's on Etsy, and she had just done this little booklet, and I liked it, so I had put that there, and then I put the clip here to kind of keep that pocket tight on the book. And then this is just a little mat that was in, there's some pencil writing on it, if that shows up at all. But this was inside of one of those 1800 cabinet cards from the 1800s that I have from that photo album. This was in one of them, so I slid it out, and it is an actual, let me see if I can find something to show you. So I slid it out with the intentions of sliding a picture in here, probably of my grandmother. But anyway, I did that kind of as a little photo spot with this beautiful little embellishment on the top of the page. It has these little crystals, very pretty. Some more quotes glued on in a little bottle cap. Another one of the clips here, and I'm just got a little ruler attached on that I thought would serve well as a bookmark, with this beautiful trim here. Oh, and on the other side, I kind of have this clipped in. I won't pull it out, but it's an old postcard with writing on it. I don't remember what year it's from, but I loved it, so I put it in the journal. And then hanging here is just an old washer. And then on this one, I did some more of the beautiful trim. This is from India. I ordered a huge box of Indian trims and things probably about a year ago, and I've just gotten around to trying to use some of them. A bundle of sticks here, and I tried to leave the rope long enough to add some little charms to it through the years. And then I did the embroidered piece of fabric here. Now on the last one I had done that I actually made after this one, I did the reverse image showing here, but on this particular one, it was not as pretty on the reverse because the butterfly didn't look like a butterfly. So I put it on like that, and a stick down the side tied with some rope. And this is watercolor paper that can be painted on. This is one of my absolute favorite ever. I believe this would be considered a napkin. It's about the size of a placemat, but I love, love, love the colors in this flower. And I have been hoarding this for years, and I finally broke down and used it. And again, I used it because I thought I was keeping the journal, but anyway, I've got to start letting go. So I've tried to just reconcile with the fact that I used a lot of things that I had been hoarding in this journal, including these little dolls. I'm down to only one more of the girl and boy. These are little handmade dolls. Anyway, I used those in this journal as well, and I kind of used them as tabs on this piece of fabric. And again, when the book is closed, you can kind of see them poking out at the side, and I just love those. So anyway, the next page is more watercolor paper with some pom-pom trim on it. And then I put fabric, as I normally do, coming down the center of pages to help reinforce the pages, so that if you do put watercolor on the paper, the water won't compromise the paper and cause it to come apart over time. So there's that. And then on the back side of this fabric, I attached a pocket. Here's the little guy that I had told you about. And then I attached a pocket, a denim pocket, and there is something inside of it. I'm not going to show it. It'll be a little cute surprise. If anyone buys the journal, there's a little surprise in the pocket. Here I did, this was kind of, it made me think of myself. The only reason she had a landline was so she could find her cell phone. And I just love that. It's a vintage style image, and it was a postcard reproduction of a vintage image with this cute little modern phrase on it, and an applique here, and some more of the pretty Indian trim coming there. And I just love the way the navy material that I used here kind of blends with the denim pocket, and then the ribbon and her red dress, and I just thought that's kind of the spread I went with on this one. And this is a painting that I did of a tree, and I wanted it to be so that the tree was not centered on the page. I wanted it to be just kind of on the edge of the page. And so I put the ribbon here with some of this same material that I used here, and did a painting there of a tree. And then this is a really neat box. It's a raisin box. And again, it's just one of those things. I kind of put it in here so that it folds down, and you can collage, write, do whatever on that. And I attached it up here. Oh, I can't remember the lady. I ordered these snippets from a lady. I bought them off of Etsy, and they're these really pretty snippets with some pretty pearl and sequined ribbon on them. But I did that so that the box could be flipped up. Let me see if I can move the book down, because it had a pretty image on the back as well. So I hinged the box in that way so that it could be moved. Too much on my desk. That's typical me. And then this is one of the coffee dyed bags, and inside of it I put this really cool bookmark. And again, I just, for some reason, that it's not a gypsy. It's not supposed to represent a gypsy, but it just had that feel about it. So I wanted that in my book. So I put that there. And then this is a painting I played around and did. Oh, and I love the way these green beads show. I haven't gotten to that yet, but I did point it out a minute ago. But anyway, so this is a painting I did, and there's stamping back behind there, watercolors through there. There's gesso kind of splattered on. But it's a bumblebee and a flower. That's not obvious. And then I did this vintage trim coming down the side that's kind of the same tones as the painting. And then when you turn that page, this is where the center of the signature has this bell and the bead. And pretty vintage fabric coming down the center of that. And then the other side of the bag, and in here I put this card that has this picture that's embroidered onto this thin linen, and it's put inside of a card. And I just love that, and so I slid that inside of the bag. There's a little fabric master buck tab right there, and then one of the Soul Custom tabs here. And then this was a search a word that my grandmother, y'all, if you've watched my old videos, I used to talk about my Mima all the time. She's one of my all-time special people in my world that I will forever ever cherish my time I had with her. And she's not physically here with me anymore, but I will always feel her presence and feel her in my life, because hopefully I am carrying on her legacy in all the ways that I'm able to. But so yeah, she used to love to do puzzles, and this was out of her word search book. And it's one on She's So Sweet and Hometown. So I need to hurry up because this video is at 20 minutes and I still have so much to show. So anyway, this is this is the other side of the fabric, and then this is a beautiful embroidered little placemat or doily that I kind of wrapped around this area. And this was just an old piece of paper out of Mima's stuff. Just slid down into that little pocket. And then these tabs are here so that something can be added if anyone wants to. I mean, I'm trying to see what I have laying around. I have little bags, but you can actually just attach something to that tab so that it flips like a page, and then you can attach something to this tab. This really isn't wide enough here, although you could literally tear the tab down if that's what you wanted to use. But anyway, the point is you can attach things to these tabs, and then they'll actually flip like a page. And these tabs are very secure inside of the book. They have fabric going down the center to keep them reinforced. And then this is a painting I did a little while ago of some bumblebees with some pretty little blue flowers. Some more fabric coming down there with a cigar box label here, and I double-sided that. Usually I do the back side of it with some coffee stained paper, but I like the way that looked with this. And this is where I used the other side of the tabs. So I had already completed the journal when I went back and added this box to the tabs that were on the other side. You can see how I attached them there, and this box folds open. And then inside of this is an agricultural almanac from 1967, and it's the entire book. And it's really cool. It's very brittle. I didn't want to disassemble it and try to use the pages because I felt like it was kind of brittle, but I wanted it to have, you know, a continued life, so to speak. So I made this little sleeve for it, and I put it in there. And then this is another one of the bookmarks with just beautiful images on it. So I slid that down on the back just to add visual interest and to pop out this blue that's on the other side of that doily. And then on the back cover, I did the denim overall pocket, and you can see the rope coming through where I had attached the leather straps on the back, and then the denim pocket, and then a piece of trim here. Now I made this one before that last one, and that last one I had used a piece of a vintage wedding dress. On this one I used some trim that I found at an antique shop in Florida. And it came on a roll, and I'm almost out of it, and so I used a little piece here before it's gone. And then another one of those little snippets that I bought from a lady on Etsy. And then this is a piece of vintage fabric measuring tape. And then a little, inside of this pocket, I did a press board out of a book cover. And I love this image, and y'all, I've probably never said this on a video, but one of my all-time favorite childhood songs is This Little Light of Mine. I try to live my life by that song. I try to always be a positive light in the best way that I'm able to. But This Little Light of Mine is one of my all-time favorite Christian songs. And so I just kind of wrote it. Again, I didn't know I was going to be getting rid of this journal. So it's not the neatest in the world, but you know, it's got all of the words to This Little Light of Mine written on the back. And I did that because that's what I had in mind when I used this. And anyway, this was the cover of a book, and it's very hard, and it can be used as a press board throughout the journal for, you know, pressing on to write or paint or whatever. And yeah, just for me, this is kind of special. It's, you know, it's nothing probably to anyone else, but to me this is special. I love that song. So it goes through, you know, on a Monday he gave me the gift of love, on a Tuesday peace came from above. I've written all the words to the chorus of that song. But anyway, and then here is a image of a queen or a princess that's just, she looks so bored. So I thought that was cute too. It had a gypsy feel about it, in my opinion. And then two little buttons there, and then the little up here it says, savor the moment. So savor the moment, search for a little joy, and you will find a great deal of it in unexpected places. So I love the meaning behind that. And that completes the flip through of this big old book. So yeah, again, this book will be going into my Etsy probably tomorrow, or you can find me. I'm Scribbles in Time. You can message me on Etsy if you know, if you want first dibs or anything like that. I'll go in the order of which I receive messages. And then I did make another passport journal. I've had several people reach out about the passport style journals. And so I did make another one, and I'm going to post it for sale, but this might sell before I get it posted. I've had, several people reaching out about doing the passport styles, and I encourage you to make one. Y'all, these are so fun, and they're not hard. You literally just stick in stuff in every way that you love. You just tab it in. So just a quick representation of this. It's very similar to the others. I've just tabbed everything in, and I've put little tabs. There's plenty of places for people to, create and put their own tabs, and then to go in and add more flips on this. A little piece of rope down here with a button, little piece of crocheted trim. Beautiful fabric right there coming down this page. This is one of those clips that I just showed you from my stash. And then there's just some flips here. A little seed packet. This is a little tuck spot in a flip out page. And then a little seed packet there. And a tab there. Or wow. Ooh, a tag there. Kind of poking out like a tab. And then a little peanuts bag with some watercolor writing paper inside of that. I've tucked it behind this cool image here. And then just some layering here on a little flip out. And then my little Scribbles in Time tab there with more papers. That glue start, there we go. And then I put a piece of the vintage measuring tape there. And then a little bit of napkin that has been attached to a piece of paper. And then I've put this plastic over it. Let's see if I can find something. Here's that little bag. Let me just show you. So yeah, you can slide something in there, and I did slide a feather on the opposite side, but I don't like to cover up the image, so you can slide something in there if you wanted to, but I like just the kind of look of what's behind it showing through. Some more pages there. This side flips up. I just tucked some little papers back here. It says, Jesus will steady your wobbly. I bought that from a lady on Etsy, and I can't remember her name, but a little wooden tag here. And then I attach this little smiley face at the top. That does fold over. And then a little tab there. And then this is a blank check. Nothing printed on it. And I just slid a piece of paper in there out of a Russian book. And then a denim tab. One of the Viewmasters with a cook's label inside of that. And then on this page, it's just a little tab page, and I've put a piece of muslin through it and just slid some pages around the muslin. The fabric tag. I did leave the string here and tied on a little rusty washer. And then here in the back, there's just some layering going on. This actually flips like, oops, sorry, the paper clips on there. But if you take that off, this flips open, and here's a library pocket behind it. And then when you turn the page, I have a little tuck area here that I've stuck that into. And then that's it. That's the back of the passport style journal. And if you've watched previous videos on the passport style journal, you'll see I kind of go over a little bit how they're made. And then lastly are these little tins. So when I created this, I decided to make something to put address labels in off of things when I buy from people or when someone sends me Happy Mail. I decided to try to make something that I could kind of keep here on my desk, that I keep phone numbers and addresses in, but I put too many papers in this. So if I start adding all of that stuff in here, this, I'm afraid, would not close. So I'm going to post this in my Etsy, and I'm probably going to make some more of these because I know I want to make myself one that's thinner. But it's a cute little mini journal, and it can be embellished as much as you want. You can literally put tabs on the pages. This one has so many pages in it though. Again, it closes, but if you start adding too much, it'll get too thick and won't close. So I didn't add anything more to this one. I am going to post it in my Etsy, and or if you're interested, reach out to me below or on Etsy. But I am going to make some more of these, I think, and post them in Etsy as well. I have some different sizes of these tins. I'm also going to post some of these empty tins in my Etsy so that people can get them and make their own books. So I have silver and then this kind of antique bronzy look. And they are different sizes. I believe this one is like 4 by 2. And the little fatter one is like 2.5 by 3.5-ish. I'll try to do exact measurements in the Etsy listings. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me go ahead and get done with this. And please, if you enjoyed the video, let me know and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And again, that's I don't know what I'm going to call these yet. I'll probably call them little 10 mini journals. Is probably what I'll call these in my Etsy shop. And then little mini tins. And then there's a passport style journal. And she has a Gypsy Soul. All of this will be going into my Etsy. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all have a blessed